Hi, I'm Wayward, and this is Command & Conquer Remastered. I have a 1v1 for you today on One Pass Fits All between Inappropriate Feelings as our yellow GDI player to the north, and to the south, Sweedsman, our blue nod. I've been having a lot of fun casting and playing this game, and hopefully you've enjoyed watching it. And let's see what we have today. Okay, interesting start for Inappropriate Feelings. We have 2 barracks before Refinery. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I think while we're starting to move out on the map and get some map vision, I think this map was actually recently patched to have players not cross-spawn, but always spawn on the same side of the map. I'm not entirely sure, but I know recently I've had matches lost that Grenadier. Actually, a big force of Grenadiers coming down to try to make something happen right away. A little bit of splitting going on, and using the Grenadier's range advantage to his advantage. And getting really close. That hero Flame Trooper killing all of those Grenadiers, and then that one coming out and almost missed this. We have 3 attack helicopters, 3 helipads early. This could be really nasty against our GDI player, who could not have scouted this at all. Additionally, we have some scouting going on for Sweedsman. Just a little bit, I guess, so far.
Our base is under attack.
So, interesting start to the match. Those attack helicopters are now revealed. There are 4 now on the map. For our GDI players, he now has his weapons factory and has quickly produced 5 rocket troopers, pulling them back a little bit to keep them safe, putting out a second refinery. So, we'll see what happens. Sweedsman coming out with 3 flame troopers, coming north to harass his opponent. Has no clue what's going on up here, but is attacking into basically nothing. Losing that Grenadier and a second one. Mutual massacre by the friendly fire death units. Let's see, 4 attack helicopters actually able to do a tremendous amount of damage to the refinery. One of them going down, a second one going down, and only 1 rocket trooper being lost in that exchange. Not probably the best exchange that Sweedsman could have hoped. Lost 2 of his attack helicopters, but really able to put the fear of God into his opponent. Actually, this is really close to going down. The harvester goes in, and it's gone. Oh, ouch. That is not what you want to have happen if you're Inappropriate Feelings, losing his harvester and refinery in one fell swoop. If he had just lost the refinery, the harvester could have come up here. Also, I don't think it got a chance to finish unloading, so doubly bad because it was lost before it was able to provide its resources to Inappropriate Feelings. Inappropriate Feelings finally getting the scout in on his opponent. And we can actually see that we have had a sell-off of those helipads and a transition into a second refinery. So Light Scout doing yeoman's work. It goes down to the attack helicopter, but full map vision. Oh gosh, we have an attack going on up here with almost nothing from Inappropriate Feelings to defend this. These minigunners are going to absolutely murder the rocket troopers before being squished by the harvester, and we still actually have 2 here harassing this power plant. Nice little split when that Grenadier came out, and that attack helicopter with a sliver of health at the last minute coming in and killing the 1 Grenadier who's able to try to defend the space from the 1 minigunner. Down goes the minigunner, but these flame troopers are here to continue the harass, to keep up the pressure on Inappropriate Feelings. Sweedsman not wanting to let his opponent build up anything. This replacement refinery is at half health, doing pretty poorly. Inappropriate Feelings really trying to scrounge up every last resource he can to produce some units. Sell off of the barracks, I think, is a good idea to get some additional troops out, because we have a bunch of minigunners coming up, I think, from sell-offs of those helipads. And here we go. This is the engagement. And down goes Sweedsman's army. That attack helicopter coming out, trying to make something happen. But that rocket trooper gets his revenge on it. Looks like we still have that last helipad that's going to need to be sold off, transition into an air pad, and Sweedsman's sitting on a bunch of cash, so he's looking pretty happy. Inappropriate Feelings with another refinery, now 3, coming out, but really struggling to get enough money to do anything. The Grenadiers doing good work, paying for themselves, but Inappropriate Feelings just can't keep units on the map right now. Both players sitting with a decent amount of resources. Sweedsman has transitioned into buggies, which is really fortuitous for him because Inappropriate Feelings does not have anything that can take them out, and only had a couple of infantry, which evaporated against these buggies. Now up to 4, 5 buggies. Still, that sell-off could cement his position. Although Inappropriate Feelings could be just losing right now unless he gets something out, and I don't know how. The one thing that's going to keep him in this match comes out right now, that medium tank and a guard tower for some reason. That refinery is going to go down. Oh, and another refinery lost with Harvester inside. That is a painful blow to Inappropriate Feelings. He does have some cash, which is keeping him in the map, but if this war factory goes down to these buggies, then that's going to be all she wrote. Looked like that tank is just enough to keep these buggies at bay. A second tank comes out, and this attack is basically shut down. The war factory, weapons factory rather, is in really bad shape. In fact, I don't think a factory could actually function if it was in that bad a shape. But this is Command & Conquer, not real life, of course, so we can enjoy the cartoony destruction. Sweedsman making the predictable change and switching into bikes. Actually, sell off of the weapons factory instead of repairing it. Interesting choice. These 2 tanks are not going to fare particularly well against the buggies. You'd think that the medium tanks would stand a really good shot against these buggies, but in my personal experience, you need more tanks than you'd think to take care of Nod buggies, which is a shame because Nod buggies also have a huge speed advantage. So Sweedsman looking really strong. Actually, with the Conyard sell-off instead of a helipad sell-off, that's interesting. But transitioning right into what the Nod player is happy doing, harassing and keeping his opponent on the back foot. This is a relatively balanced battle, thanks to the infantry, because Nod buggies are actually pretty fragile. Ow! Oh man, friendly fire killing all of those infantry. The last bike goes down, but 3 more bikes come in, and with some micro, these tanks are not going to go as far as you would hope. 1 tank goes down to 2 buggies and a single grenadier. That tank destroys the buggy, but then is destroyed in turn, and Sweedsman has yet again turned the tables. More buggies coming out, more harassment going in, a little bit of damage against this harvester. Inappropriate Feelings is sticking with his Grenadiers for now. Now up to 4 refineries. So doing pretty well in terms of income, but now going to, I think, lose this Harvester. There's nothing he can do to keep it alive. Guard towers don't do enough damage, the Grenadiers don't do enough damage, and certainly cannot keep up with the speed of the buggies. Inappropriate Feelings doing okay in terms of his income, with 3 guard towers to defend, I guess, against infantry. But this army of Grenadiers is just not maneuverable enough. We have possibly another refinery going down to Sweedsman. It's going to be close. Oh, it comes out right before. There's no sell-off. This is probably a bit of a missed opportunity. He doesn't need to kill that. Doesn't get the sell-off there either. So kind of a waste of resources. All of these harvesters sitting around doing nothing. Very painful. And Inappropriate Feelings stuck with no resources, very few units, and no income. He could get some income, but it's going to be really hard to keep those harvesters alive. He realizes that they're not doing anything and starts to send them out. This one could go down. The 1 Grenadier goes down, 2nd Grenadier dies. This harvester may die. It's, no. Sweedsman pulls back. Why does Sweedsman pull back? He can see everything his opponent's doing. His opponent has nothing. He could just come in and kill whatever he wants. He's being overly cautious here. This is what he wants to do. This is what the Nod player always likes to be able to do, is to come in and just murder his opponent's Conyard. This should be sold off. Should be sold off. Should be. Does not get sold off and dies for nothing. So Sweedsman really happy. He has, what, 6, 7 now? 7 buggies. Can get anywhere he wants on the map, kill whatever he wants. Chooses to attack his opponent's army, and then pulls back. He could go for anything. Inappropriate Feelings has no real chance at this point. Based purely on army composition, Sweedsman could and probably should be going for harvesters or structures. Instead, we have a really weird battle of Grenadiers versus buggies, and they managed to actually kill more than half of them. Down goes another buggy. Sweedsman just kind of stopped microwing and lost almost all of his buggies. There's 2 left, and both of them are pretty hurt. A 3rd buggy comes out. Really weird. He could have just completely avoided that army and gone and just killed infrastructure. So I think that was a real mistake by Sweedsman. And if he transitioned back into the buggies, the bikes would just... I think I've been calling them buggies this whole time, actually, which is a huge mistake. Actually a decent-sized force of Grenadiers, and the bikes not doing too well against them. Harvester comes in to defend the base, manages to get us crush, and now we just have a couple of Grenadiers running around like madmen trying to kill. Actually doing a good job of killing this power plant. At the last minute, a light tank comes out, and we have that Harvester crush. Another army of Grenadiers coming out. It's going to be hard to crush all of them. We get 1, I think. That was maybe 2. Actually, that is a huge, huge number of Grenadiers coming right in and killing the infrastructure. They could get this barracks. Most of them die, but still enough, I think, to get the job done. Another one goes down and forces the sell-off. So, good job, Inappropriate Feelings, making more happen with Grenadiers than you would think. Now, Sweedsman coming out with light tanks. This is probably not the right transition for him. He really should probably just go for buggies. The buggies are just going to murder these Grenadiers. I get going for the crush. That's usually a fun idea. But if the game's on the line, you really want something that's going to murder infantry. Still, we have 3 light tanks, and that's a formidable force, plus these buggies up here that are doing nothing. Grenadier going for the airfield, doing tons of damage. We get a crush on some of them, but not enough. Let's see. Forces the sell-off. And now Sweedsman is in a bad position because he can't get anything else out. Inappropriate Feelings, meanwhile, only on infantry. Not transitioning to rocket troopers, which is interesting. Probably Sweedsman should and will focus on this harvester. No. Lets the harvester go. Only 1 bike attacking it. And Inappropriate Feelings coming out for another Grenadier run-by. And Sweedsman quits. Inappropriate Feelings with no resources, no ability to produce vehicles, no map presence or maneuverability, managing to come in and with several Grenadier attacks kill his opponent's base, pick his opponent's base apart piece by piece. Sweedsman was in a really dominant position for a lot of that. A couple of weird choices like attacking all those Grenadiers with the bikes, although to be fair, I would not have quite expected that outcome either, with the Grenadiers killing the bikes, trading as well with the bikes as they did. But yeah, Sweedsman with a really innovative opening, really powerful mid-game, but losing it in the end to lack of focus, I think, where Inappropriate Feelings was focused like a laser on taking out his opponent's infrastructure. Sweedsman kind of lost the plot there after killing some of those refineries. So really interesting game, a lot of back and forth, kind of some missteps on both sides, but I think action-packed and a lot of fun. And actually this is the 3rd time I've watched this through. The first time I didn't have voice, the second time I didn't have music. Hopefully 3rd time's the charm, and this gets everything. So thanks for watching. This has been Wayward Strategy, and I will see you on the battlefield.